ఇంట్లోనే పెట్టేశారు మొత్తం. అయినా
తను ఓన్ బుక్స్
సమ్ 45-50 ఇయర్స్ అయింది. అప్పుడు నేను ఉంటానన్నా కూడా తెలియదు. మనకున్న స్ట్రెస్కి
వాళ్ళ వైఫ్ కూడా చెప్తారంట, ఇద్దరు కలిసి.
ఓకే, స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందా? ఏదో తేడా Good morning, everyone. Please confirm me. Am I audible and the screen is visible? Okay, everyone, please confirm me. Am I audible and the screen is visible? Okay, please confirm me. Am I audible? Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we'll wait for 1 minute. Let others very quickly join. Okay. Okay, no problem. Let's continue. Okay, so in this particular class, I will explain you completely about, various kind of career opportunities and the different type of competitive exams that a MSc student can write. Okay, so we know very well in India, in order to do your research, we will be having multiple examinations. We will be having CSIR NET, ICMR, ICAR, DBT JRF, as well as the GATE BT and GATE Excel. Okay, these are the various entrance exam by which aspirant can enter into the PhD program, right? Apart from these institutes, or apart from these exams, different institutes in India will conduct their own entrance exams for the PhD program, such as NII, National Institute of Immunology, which is located in the New Delhi, CDRI, Central Drug Research Institute, located in the Lucknow. Then CFTRI, Central Food Technological Research Institute, located in the Mysore, CCMB, located in the Hyderabad, then followed by IICT, located in the Hyderabad, right? And we will be having various other research institutes, and we are also having one of the most famous research center, NIV Pune. Apart from this, AIMS New Delhi and different campuses of AIMS will conduct their own PhD entrance exam, right? So these are the various prominent exams through which a student can enter into the PhD program. One thing you people can observe, in all the exams, almost the stipend is similar. Here whatever the stipend I have mentioned, excluding HRA, and mostly if you are staying in the other premises apart from the campus, you will get up to 30% of the HRA also, along with your normal stipend. Among all the exams, one of the toughest exam is CSIR NET, right? Now, why this particular CSIR NET exam is very difficult? What might be the reasons why this CSIR NET exam is too difficult? One of the reason, everyone remember that, one of the major reason, number of aspirants that are writing the exam. Okay, can anyone very quickly tell me how many number of students can write the CSIR on yearly basis? Can anyone tell me how many number of students can write the CSIR exam on yearly basis? See, I believe everyone know that CSIR conduct the exam in physical sciences, chemical sciences, life sciences, mathematical sciences and oceanographic. There are 5 disciplines in which CSIR will conduct the exam. Among all the 5 disciplines, life sciences is the only stream where maximum number of aspirants can write the exam. So you know very well this exam will conduct once in the month of June and once in the month of December. If you consider both terms, it will be around 1.3 to 1.4 lakh. 1.3 to 1.4 lakh aspirants will write the exam. And you know very well, if you consider the total number of the JRFs, everyone listen, the total number of JRFs, nowadays the JRFs are increasing, and I am telling you average to maximum 2500 to 4500 JRFs. Okay, and whatever I am explaining you, actually the highest number of JRF, this much number of JRFs also not available. Okay, you can consider an average of 3500 JRFs. Now everyone understand. So 1.4 lakh people are writing and the number of JRFs are available only 3500. So as a result, the cutoff will increase continuously. Okay, so this is one of the reason why the life science exam is very difficult. Why? Because number of aspirants are more, number of JRFs are very less. Then another very important parameter, everyone remember, difficulty level of the exam. If you consider CSIR NET exam with the set question paper, in the set you can't find any kind of a applicative based question. In the set, almost all the questions are very straightforward. They not even indirect questions also. But when you look into the NET exam, it is completely applicative, analytical, numerical, logical, graphical. Very different type of questions will appear in the CSIR NET exam. Once again, I am telling to every one of you one important line. Remember this word. CSIR exam and GATE exam, it is not at all about your knowledge. It is not at all about your knowledge. It is about how you apply the knowledge on a given concept. So that's the reason every question comes in an application manner which generally checks the applicative or analytical knowledge of the candidate. So that's the reason you have to work extremely harder. You have to work extremely harder in order to crack this specific exam. All right. So now the new batch is starting from Monday. So what we will do in this specific batch is we'll divide the syllabus into 2 quarters. Okay, 2 quarters. See, remember, so if we are starting the batch on January 6th, what we will do is, this time we will do little differently. We will complete the exam syllabus by March end, and again we'll start another batch where we will discuss complete syllabus. Instead of doing the revision, we will discuss the complete syllabus. This will end by the June. So as a result, every student can prepare 2 times the entire syllabus. Okay, so this is what we do from this specific batch. We'll start from January 6th. We'll end the syllabus by April first week or March last week, and again we'll start from the April and we will end it by June. And so if anyone wants to half line also, you can come to the half line and you can enroll here directly. And here once the chapter gets over, you will get completely chapter wise series as well as the mock tests also. Anyway, we'll explain that later. Okay, now remember, I'll quickly explain to all of you in 1 minute how to use the app. So most of the students are having confusion in how to use the app. So once you download the Chandubiology classes app with the help of your phone number, this is how the menu look like. So once you click on the option called as batches, whatever the batches that you have enrolled, all the batches will appear here. So you have to click on that specific batch. Once you click on that specific batch, you will find lot of options such as overview, attendance, assignments, test, videos and live classes. If you just click on the live classes, you can access all the live classes. Okay, now how to attend the live? Before starting the class, you will get a notification from the app. Once you click on that, you can automatically enter into the class. Okay, 1 or 2 days you feel very difficulty, after that you can adjust in terms of using the app. All right, now let's start the most important discussion. I'm requesting everyone, please continue next 30 minutes and listen to me very carefully. Okay, now whenever you are preparing for the NET exam or SET exam, first, every student has to remember one very important thing, that is your category. Most of the students, they just start preparing without knowing the qualifying marks. If you really don't know how many marks you have to qualify, there is no point of reading. You should have a clear-cut information to understand how many marks should be achieved in order to qualify the exam. Now remember, this is what I kept an average. For general category, if you consider JRF and LS, and here I want to add one more point. Now from the 2024 onwards, CSIR introduced now 3 different schemes in the exam application form. One is strictly JRF, one is assistant professor, and one is PhD only. There are 3 options are there. So most of the students are getting confused with what is this option called as PhD only. Now everyone understand, in India, PhD is 5 years. The first 2 years of PhD is said to be the JRF, and if your performance is really good, they will promote to you SRF, Senior Research Fellow. Together will be 5 years. In some IITs or IIScs, it may extend depending on your project and depending on your performance. Now, what is the difference between JRF, assistant professor and PhD in exam? It only differ with the cutoff. Now every one of you remember very carefully, JRF always having the highest cutoff. An example I am giving you. 120 example, 120 marks. Let's consider 115 marks and 110 mark for a general category student. Now what happens if you qualify the JRF? Now remember everyone, if you qualify the JRF, you are highly eligible to enroll into your PhD program, where Government of India with the CSIR-UGC NET, they will provide you the stipend up to 2 years. If your performance is good, you will be promoted to the SRF and you will get the stipend up to 5 years overall. And again, some students will get a doubt that if you qualify for the JRF, what about the assistant professor? Remember everyone, if you qualify for the JRF, you will be qualified default for the assistant professor. Why? Because assistant professor cutoff will be very low compared to the JRF. So if you qualify for the JRF, you will qualify for the assistant professor. But in the result, if it shows you have only qualified for assistant professor, you are not eligible for the JRF. Now, what is the disadvantage with the assistant professor and PhD only? In the assistant professor, you never get the stipend from the Government of India. But you are highly eligible to apply to the any government college or private colleges in order to join as a assistant professor. Now what is this third option called as PhD only? Here also you never get stipend. Your stipend is also here absolutely zero, but you are eligible to enter into the PhD program. But again, some students having the doubt that, sir, without stipend, how can we do the PhD of the 5 years? Now, there is one more point you have to remember here. An example. Suppose through this option, you have enrolled in a university. Sometimes what university will do, university will give their own stipend, which is called university stipend. That won't come from the CSIR. It will directly comes from the university where you have enrolled. But that university, in order to take you into the PhD program, they will consider only CSIR exam as eligibility. But most of the universities, they will give their own stipend. So now you have to decide whether, if your ultimate goal is to become assistant professor, I encourage you to only focus on this assistant professor. There is no point of focusing on JRF cutoff, because in the CSIR exam 1 mark is enough to make you qualify or to make you disqualify. That's the reason your goal should be very clear what you have to focus on. Then only you can understand everything very clearly. Anyway, so this is the cutoff for general. 122, correct, it's less. 122, 122, and for LS it is 115 to 117. And if you look into the OBC category, so some people will ask, right, the state category. So whether you belongs to BCA, B, C, D, whatever the category, under the nation, you will belongs to OBC. And while filling the application, while getting the stipend, you have to compulsory submit the certificate of NCL, non-creamy layer, which is centrally approved, not state approved. Then for ST, SC, if you score 90 to 100, I have included for both JRF and LS. If you score 100 marks, again, you can easily qualify for the exam. Now, this is for NET. And for SET, I will tell you a very simple cutoff. Everyone remember for this. Whether it is a Andhra Pradesh SET, Telangana or Tamil Nadu, Karnataka or Gujarat, whatever the SET it may be, everyone remember this simple cutoff. If you are a general category, remember 50 to 51%. If you are a general. And if you belongs to the BC category, remember 49 to 50 it will go. If you belongs to the ST and SC, I am telling you an average, again it will be in the range of 48 to 49. So it is very important, one should understand what is their category. Based on that, we can prepare for the exam by keeping exact target. Alright, now you also know very well whether you consider the SET exam, whether you consider the NET exam, the time you are having is 6 months. Now, the number one question here, why most of the students couldn't crack the exam in the first attempt? What will be the reason? So I have seen so many people, even though they are university top rankers, they couldn't crack the exam in the first attempt. Why? One of the major reason is that if you do not have good knowledge in your MSc level or BSc level, you cannot crack it in the 6 months. Why? Because in the college or university level, we use it to focus mostly on theory. But here, not even a single question also never comes from the theoretical manner. Okay. So all the questions are applicative, analytical, logical questions. So per an average student, an average, minimum 6 months, maximum 12 months time is required. Minimum 6 months, maximum 12 months you require the time. Otherwise it is very, very difficult to crack the exam. And again, some students, they will start the preparation in the first month, whole first complete month they will spend 10 hours and they will stop reading in the second month. This kind of students also never ever crack the exam. Now you remember my words, in the CSIR or SET exam you require only one quality, that is consistency. The more consistent you are in your preparation, undoubtedly you can crack the exam. Now the question here, how many hours you have to read? Minimum, I am telling you minimum 5 to maximum 6 hours for the period of 6 months. If you do consistent preparation, trust my words, 100% you will qualify the exam. Or if you keep the target of 1 year, I encourage you just to spend 3 months enough. Sorry, just spend 3 hours in a day and you keep the target for 12 months, undoubtedly you can crack the exam. Right? And there are many kind of students. I will tell you the type of students who couldn't crack the exam. First one, they don't know the concept, they don't understand the concept, they don't read the concept, they will directly try to solve the MCQ. These kind of students never ever crack the exam. It is impossible. And second category students, they will only read the concept, completely read the concept, and they will skip the MCQ solving. This kind of students also never qualify the exam. So in order to crack the exam, first you require a brilliant understanding of the concept, then you should require a complete analysis of the PYQ, then you have to practice more number of MCQs. Then only you can crack the exam. So knowledge is first, followed by thorough analysis of the PYQs, then followed by the thorough analysis of the MCQs. Then automatically you can crack the exam. There is no doubt about it. Okay. Now you also know very well, it's very important, along with the hard work, we have to do the smart work also. What is smart work in our preparation? Time saving. How can we save the time? See, you can save the time in terms of making tables, in terms of making charts. These tables and charts reduce our effort and you can remember the information for the long period of time very easily. Now listen, now this is the most important thing I want you to remember here. I hope everyone gone through the CSIR syllabus at least once. Now anyway, I will explain one more time elaboratively. Be patient, okay? If you want to crack the CSIR or any competitive exam, patience is your key, followed by the patience, interest, okay, then consistency. If you have these three, you will crack. There's no doubt about it. If you lack any one of the characteristics, you can't, because most of the people having the ability to read 10 hours per day, but they don't show interest while they are reading. Those kind of students also never crack. So be patient and show the interest until you crack your exam. Okay, now listen. I hope Ananya, you can ask at the end of the class. Okay, now listen everyone. Out of 13 units, whether you belongs to the general category, OBC category, ST, SC or PWD category, remember everyone, we have to read, understand everyone, minimum of 10 units. Minimum. It doesn't matter whatever the category you belongs to, 10 units is compulsory. And whenever you are reading that particular 10 units, remember everyone, that 10 units you have to read 100%. If you don't read 100%, you can't crack the exam. It is impossible. So 10 units are minimum. I will tell you what those units also. And especially for the general category students, I encourage you to read that 11th unit also at least 50%. So an average 10.5 units you have to read very thoroughly. Then you can easily crack the CSIR exam. Now remember everyone, this I want you to understand very correctly. We have 13 units. In the 13 units, what units we should not skip? Unit 1 to 6 are the heart in your preparation. You should not skip any one unit in among these 6. You have to read this compulsory. Then unit 8 genetics, unit 10 ecology, unit 13 methods in biology. So these 9 units are utmost important that every student has to read. It doesn't matter whatever the category that you belongs to. If you skip any one of the unit, you cannot crack the exam. It is impossible. Unit 1 to 6, Unit 8, Unit 10, Unit 13. Then you can choose any one unit between this Unit 7, Unit 11, Unit 12, Unit 9. Among these, depending on your MSc specialization. Suppose example, if you belongs to microbiology, so this methods in biology is very easy for you. Suppose example, if you are from zoology background, evolution is very easy for you. If you are from zoology background, human physiology is very easy for you. Depending on your background, you can choose any one unit among these four. But it doesn't matter whatever the background you may belongs to. Botany, zoology, biotechnology, biochemistry, or whatever it may be. You have to read 1 to 6 units compulsory. Then Unit 8, Unit 10 and Unit 13 compulsory. Mandatorily you have to read. Now here comes the most important question. What is that question? How much we have to read in a unit? This is a very important question where most of the students do not have any idea. Now every student understand very correctly. In our paper we are having part A, part B and part C. I hope every student know very well. In part B, how many number of questions we will get? 50 number of questions we will get. Out of 50, we have to answer only 35 questions. Any 35 out of 50. Now, the most important, how many chapters we are having? 13 chapters are there. So, on average, from every single chapter, on average, 3 part B questions comes for sure. From every chapter. Okay, now, when it comes to the part C, the most important and deciding one. If you look into the part C, what you have to understand, how many questions are there? 75. But how many number of questions we have to answer? Only 25. So you understand what we can say. The choice will be of course 3 times. But out of 25, most of the students cannot answer 25. Highest only most of the time people will answer 24. So that much confusing questions will appear. But you understand, out of 75, you consider 13 chapters, which means from every chapter on average 5 questions will come for sure. From every chapter, an average 5 questions comes compulsory. Okay, now again some students having a doubt. Part A, Part B, Part C. What is the major doubt of the students? Should we qualify 3 sections separately? No. There is no point of qualifying the 3 sections separately. It is called as cumulative. It is not individual. Okay. What is the meaning of cumulative? Suppose example, part A is how many marks? 30 marks. Part B, 70 marks. Part C, 100 marks. This is our question paper. Suppose, let's consider, you are belonging to the ST category. In order to crack the JRF, you require 95 marks. That's all. Some students, some life sciences students, they always feel very difficulty with this particular mathematics or aptitude or reasoning. Some students will skip the part A. I'm just telling an example. They will skip the part B also. Example, part C, they got 100 marks, 100 out of 100, which means that they crossed their cutoff, so they qualified the exam. So there is no point of qualifying in every section. You have to qualify cumulative only. But it is not at all idealized to follow this. It is very important. You have to cover part A also, part B also, part C also. Okay. Then only you can crack the exam. So always remember. Now I will explain you the most important part. How to read every single chapter very elaboratively. Okay. If you understand this 30 minutes, you get a clear-cut idea how to do your preparation. Okay, number 1 unit in our CSIR syllabus is the biochemistry. We also call it as molecule and their interaction relevant to biology. See, as the chapter name itself indicating, you have to study the chemistry of molecules. You have to study the biology of the biomolecules. That's the reason we call biochemistry. So you have to study the chemical properties, you have to study their biology also. Now remember my words. I used to hear that microbiology people, biotechnology people, pure botany people, they always say that biochemistry is very tough unit. There is no doubt biochemistry is one of the most toughest unit, undoubtedly. But if you want to crack the exam, I always encourage you to study the biochemistry compulsory. You know the reason? Most of the time, unit 1 they link with unit 2, they link with unit 3, they link with unit 7, they link with unit 13. So this is the reason. See, it is not necessary that you have to read unit 1 compulsory, but what is the greatest importance is it is interconnected with many other units. So that is the reason you should not skip. I don't encourage anyone to skip it. Now, if you look into the unit 1, see, I kept here a very clear cut information. Okay, and once again I'll explain you the complete information individually in individual classes. In the unit 1, the most, see, this is the syllabus, huge syllabus it is, where we have to focus on carbohydrates, proteins, amino acids, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, enzyme kinetics, and thermodynamics. This is the complete syllabus of the biochemistry. But I'll summarize you in a very simple way here. If you understand, now listen once again. Part B, how many questions we will get? Let's consider average 4, maximum 5. And consider part C, average 4, maximum even 6 will come. Now every student, remember this point in your mind. Whether it is a part B or part C, your ultimate goal is to answer minimum 2 questions. In part B also, part C also. One of the major reasons some students cannot qualify even though they do hard work, because of these silly mistakes. They always think that they have to answer every single question that is coming in the exam. That is almost impossible. You cannot answer. And luckiest thing is, out of 4 to 5 questions, trust my words blindly, 2 questions are so easy. If you identify that 2 questions, you can easily answer them. So if you are reading 11 units, 11 into 2, 22 part B questions, 22 part C questions. So 22 into 4, 88 marks. Here it is, how much it is? 22 marks. So how much? There itself you are getting 110 marks. Undoubtedly you will qualify the exam. So your goal is, for every single unit, out of 4 to 5 questions that appear in the exam, you have to answer only 2 questions. Now, since you know that biochemistry is a very vast chapter, you can't read completely. But anyway, since it is mentioned in our syllabus, we are going to cover everything. But the most important topics, look into this: amino acids, proteins, carbohydrate metabolism, enzymes, thermodynamics, nucleic acid, and lipids. Now everyone listen to me. If you look into the amino acid, if you take 10 question papers, out of 10 times, this repeated 10 times, which means there is a no CSIR NET Life Sciences or SET Life Sciences question paper without amino acid concept. Now, first question here, what kind of questions you can appear, we can expect? You can expect the questions from the classification. Most important, you can expect the questions from characteristics. See, which of the following hormone derived from which amino acid? So precursors, characteristics, most important numericals, pi, pka, most importantly calculating the net charge. Okay, these are the various subtopics that you have to cover in the amino acids. Now if you ask me, I can say that amino acid is not a too difficult topic, it is a moderate level of difficulty, that's all. But if you ask me, in the entire biochemistry, which topic is the most toughest topic to answer, Undoubtedly it is proteins and enzymes. These two are extremely toughest topics. If you can't read them, it's very difficult to answer the questions in the exam. Proteins, when you are reading, see, our syllabus is also so vast. We have to cover the structure. When we are covering the structure, we have to cover primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, quaternary structure. Then YEPA, and in the secondary structure, I hope you remember, we have to focus on alpha helix and we have to focus on beta pleated structure. After the structure, we have to read RC plot, very important Ramachandran plot for all the amino acid. Number 3, very important, protein folding, very important. Then protein denaturation, then protein kinetics. See, this many topics that we all people has to cover with respect to the proteins. That's why proteins is said to be the one of the most difficult topic in the exam. And most of the time they will raise the questions exclusively from the experimental based only, not very straightforward questions also. Then the third topic I can say to all of you is carbohydrate metabolism. I will tell you what is the specialty of the carbohydrate metabolism. Trust my words, from the carbohydrate metabolism question never comes difficulty, but listen my words, question is always logical. Okay, that given statements always makes you confuse. It always makes you confuse. So in order to crack this carbohydrate metabolism questions, you have to study complete concept. If you have the complete concept, you can crack any kind of a question very easily. Now every one of you listen to me. What we have to read in the carbohydrate metabolism? We have to focus on glycolysis, Krebs cycle, then ETC, oxidative phosphorylation, right? Then we have to focus on glycogenesis, glycogenolysis, gluconeogenesis, PPP pathways. These are the complete syllabus in the carbohydrate metabolism. If you look into the 2024 June morning shift, they asked so simple question from glycogenesis, glycogenolysis, gluconeogenesis. With a simple understanding, you can get 4-marker question. In the afternoon shift, they asked the question from the Krebs cycle. So one point is very clear. Always the questions comes from the regulation. Most of the students just read the steps of the glycolysis, steps of the Krebs cycle, and they just leave just like that. That is not the way to read. You have to read extreme depth of the concept by especially focusing on regulatory part. The more you focus on the regulatory path, you can easily answer any kind of a question. So number 1 topic amino acid, number 2 topic protein, number 3 topic carbohydrate metabolism, number 4 topic, fourth topic, that is called enzymes and its kinetics. This is so tough. Undoubtedly, I am telling to all of you, enzyme kinetics is so tough topic if you don't have the knowledge. You require a brilliant practice. And again, most of the students will confuse that enzymes and its kinetics means all the time question will appear from the numerical. That is wrong. Most of the time question comes in the graphical. Question comes even in the matching also. Okay. Many times the question asked from the characteristics, cofactors, many times. And they ask the question about the Vmax also, Km also, half Vmax also, Kcat also. They'll give all the terms and they will ask us what this specific term is generally representing. This kind of questions also they will ask. And when it comes to the kinetics, what are the major topics that we have to focus on? Number 1, Michaelis-Menten equation. Okay, then LB plot, right? Eddy half-tree diagram, Uhl half-tree diagram. These are the 4 plots we have to read compulsory in the kinetics. And what we used to observe in the question papers, in case if the question was not appeared from the kinetics, 100% question appears from the inhibition. Okay, so competitive inhibition, uncompetitive inhibition, non-competitive inhibition, suicidal inhibition, and their regulatory mechanisms. So if you want to answer any kind of a question from the biochemistry chapter, every student should become super expert in amino acid, protein, carbohydrate metabolism and enzymes. If you are not reading these 4 topics, blindly trust my words, so you can't answer even one question also correctly in the biochemistry chapter, because they are the heart of the biochemistry. Then what are the easy topics in biochemistry, where we can expect part B questions, part C questions? Number 1, nucleic acid chemistry, nucleic acid metabolism. Very easy question. They always rise it to ask, use it to raise the question, differences between aDNA, bDNA, zDNA. It's like total number of base pairs per turn, their sugar puckering, their base conformation. Very straightforward questions they will ask. That too from properties only or characteristic feature. And when it comes to the metabolism, they will always ask the questions from skeletal structure. Suppose example, purines are in the bicyclic structure, whereas pyrimidines are in the monocyclic structure. They will ask from which atoms, from which groups these functional groups are derived. Or suppose example, C1 is derived from what? C6 is derived from what? N3 is derived from what? Whether it may be an amino acid or it may be another substance. So these atoms are derived from which functional groups? This kind of questions they use to ask from the nucleic acid. And lipids, they may or may not ask the question, but trust me, if they ask the questions from lipid, very easy and straightforward question you can expect from the lipid. I don't encourage any one of you to leave the lipid topic. Then another crucial topic is thermodynamics. From here they can ask the question from any corner. They may ask the question from stabilizing interactions, or they can ask the questions from the pure thermodynamics, or they can ask the questions from the Gibbs free energy, right? Or they can ask the questions from molarity, normality. From anywhere they can raise the question. So it is very important to focus on the thermodynamics also, compulsory for the exam, right? So that is unit 1. Once again I am telling you, it doesn't matter whatever the specialization in your MSc, it is very much important and it is very much idealized. We have to read compulsory this particular unit. There is no doubt about it. Okay. Now next unit, cellular organization. Okay, this is very important. And you know what is the advantage of this particular unit? It is very easy unit. I encourage every student, read 100% of this unit without leaving any concept. The more you read, more elaboratively you read. In worst cases, if you could not answer much number of questions in biochemistry, you can cover in this unit too. Very easy unit. And except one topic, almost every single topic question comes in a straightforward manner. Again, part B, undoubtedly you will get 4 to 5. Part C, undoubtedly you will get 4 to 5. Again, our goal is, including part B and part C, we have to answer only 4 questions. Very easy. Now, if you observe the syllabus of the cell biology in our CSIR and SET syllabus, where you have to cover complete cell organelles, you have to cover cell cycle regulation and cell division, most important chromosomal organization, and we have a special topic named as microbial physiology. Only these 5 topics were given in the exam. Now, is there any question paper without the question from the cell cycle regulation? You consider my words. First toughest topic and most important topic, cell cycle regulation. Again, every student remember my words. If question is asked, sorry, if you consider 10 question papers, 10 out of 10 times question appears. That much important this question, this topic is. Most of the students in your masters and bachelor's level, you just studied cell division, mitosis, meiosis. This is not what we have to read here. We have to completely focus on regulation. How the cell is getting regulated at the G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase and M phase. So complete regulatory pathway. Especially we have to focus on different type of a CDKs, then followed by the different type of the cyclins. And what we use to observe most of the time, the cell cycle regulation, they always link with the cancer. Always link with the cancer. And in order to make us confused, all the time questions will appear from different type of a kinases and different type of a phosphatases that are involved in every step of the cell cycle. This is one of the most toughest topic, but whenever we are discussing in the classes, if you understand it, it becomes so easy. Then after the cell cycle regulation, second toughest topic is chromosomal organization. This is also seems to be very easy, but it is you require a lot of understanding. Structure of the euchromatin, structure of the heterochromatin, very important. And we have to read solenoid models, okay, and we have to understand nucleosomal models. Trust me, here you will get the question, trust me, statement. 99.99% statement only. Straightforward questions only, but all the questions are generally informative based questions. So it's very much important you have to read a lot of information. Then in the cell biology chapter, if you get a numerical question, there is only one way of asking the numerical question in the unit 2, that is from microbial physiology. So which you many times read in BSc level also. You can expect the questions from the generation time. If not the generation time, you people can expect the questions from the growth curves. Okay, from the growth curves also you people can expect the question. In the 2024 paper also, I hope everyone seen that we got the question from lag phase, log phase, stationary phase and decline phase. From here only we got the direct 4-marker question. This is easy only. Now the most important is organelles. See, if you look into the set exam, it was surprising to know that, I think it is Telangana set exam in the 2023 paper, they asked a question. In one column, name of the organelle. In the second column, they have given name of the enzymes present in that organelle. They added a third column and they asked deficiency diseases that are associated with the deficiency of that enzymes. This kind of questions also they will ask. Now, whenever you are reading the cell organelles, every student remember, the first thing you have to start with is the plasma membrane. See friends, among all the cellular organelle, plasma membrane is a very crucial type of organelle where you have to understand complete structure. When I tell you to understand the structure, what does it mean? Which means you have to focus on type of lipids, type of proteins, type of carbohydrates that are present in the plasma membrane very elaboratively. Then, whenever you are reading all the organelles, remember my words. Focus on structure, focus on function. Most important, the techniques used to study that organelles. This is very crucial. Then, enzymes involved and deficiency diseases. What are the major organelles that you cover? You always start with plasma membrane, then go with Golgi complex, mitochondria, peroxisome, lysosomes, then most important RER, SCR. These two are also very important organelle, followed by nucleus. Okay, if not from the organelles or along with the organelles, one more difficult topic in the entire cell biology is very difficult topic is transposons. Okay, very tricky topic is also difficult, and type of questions asked also kind of confusing questions. And what I observed from the transposons is every single time transposons is the topic where you get the questions only from the characteristics. No experimental logical question, all the characteristic based, which are completely confused statements. The statements about DNA transposons, RNA transposon, the type of transposons present in the maize, the type of transposons present in the animals, the type of transposons present in the human beings, and how the transposons are getting regulated. This kind of very theoretical statement related questions will appear. So I encourage everyone not to skip even a single part of the unit 2 also. You have to read completely. Okay. Next, unit 3. Okay. Is it clear everyone so far? Everyone please type yes. If anyone having any doubts so far, you can ask now. Please be patient. Is it clear everyone so far? Please respond everyone. If anyone having any doubt, you can ask me right now. Others? Okay, no problem. Okay, now let's please be patient. Next, the most important unit 3. Okay, now I want to tell you one important word to you. Unit 3 and 6, everyone listen my words. If you observe 2024 June morning shift, okay, 2024 morning shift, highest number of questions appeared from 3 and 6. 2024 afternoon shift, highest number of questions appeared from 12 and 13. So in the question paper, we can't predict which unit they will give the highest importance. That's the reason, as I said, 9 to 10 units are mandatory. You have to read extreme depth of those units. Then only we can crack them. Alright, now when you start reading the unit 3, undoubtedly till today most of the people feel lot of difficulty in this particular unit 3, that is molecular biology or fundamental processes. What exactly we have to read in this specific unit? In general, we have to focus on replication, transcription and translation. In what organisms are syllabus also designed in such a way that we have to focus on prokaryotes also as well as the eukaryotes also. So replication in prokaryotes, replication in eukaryotes, then transcription, translation in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. I will write here, see what are the important topics that frequently repeated, frequently. Number 1, DNA replication. Your CSIR NET Life Sciences question starts in the unit 3 from the DNA replication itself. First question, whether it is a 2-marker question, whether it is a 4-marker question, it compulsory appear only from this specific unit topic only. And some students what they do is they will read only prokaryotes, and they will just skip the eukaryotic organism. You should not do that under any circumstances. Okay, it is not like that the question specifically comes only from the prokaryotes or the question specifically comes from only from the eukaryotes. That never happens. Always remember my words. The question comes, the combination of prokaryotic and eukaryote or comparison. Suppose example, how does the prokaryotic DNA replication is getting regulated? How does the eukaryotic DNA replication is getting regulated? So entire regulatory mechanisms you have to compare and you have to read and you have to remember. Then only we can understand. Whenever you start reading the replication, what we have to read? First, we have to read with rules of replication. Then we have to focus with the enzymes involved in the replication. Then only finally we have to start with the processes, that is prokaryotic DNA replication and eukaryotic DNA replication. Please see, what is the speciality of this molecular biology? Without reading replication, it is impossible to understand transcription. Without understanding transcription, you can't understand translation. Without understanding these three, you can't understand gene regulation. This is called as an interconnected subject. It is so much important. You have to connect each and everything. That's the reason you have to read this chapter from very, very basic to the extreme core level. The more depth you read, more easily you can understand this particular question. Okay. Now, listen. Apart from the DNA replication, there is a one more unit, one more topic called as RNA processing. We also call it as post-transcriptional processes. Post-transcriptional processes. Now remember, every time the question comes from the post-transcriptional process, especially either from 5' capping, 3' polyadenylation or splicing. If not from the splicing, the question appear from the editing. These are the various topics. Compulsory questions will appear. So it is super important, friends. We have to read all the topics very clearly. And from the last 5 question papers, the question is coming without fail. Either in the morning shift or in the afternoon shift is DNA repair mechanisms. So, and one more advantage is that DNA repair mechanism, most of the time the question is very straightforward. Either the question comes from the enzymes involved in that repair mechanism, or the question comes from the mechanism of that particular repair mechanism. Nowadays, they are raising the questions from diseases also. Especially they are combining with the genetics and they are asking. So, it is super important, friends. You have to read the diseases also. So very, very important, you have to read that. And especially I believe every student remember, and you already read in your master's level, we have to focus on mismatch repair mechanism, base excision repair mechanism, nucleotide excision repair mechanism. This is very, 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 very important. Then double strand breakage repair, homologous recombination and photoreactivation. These are the 6 repair mechanisms, friends. We can expect the questions compulsory in the exam. Hence, I request every one of you to read every single repair mechanism. Then, the next, one of the most prominent topic in our entire CSIR NET Life Sciences syllabus, where you people get the question compulsory in the exam, is operons. Okay, so lacoperon, tryptophan operon and arabinose operon. Okay, if you are preparing for the set level, you no need to read the arabinose operon, but if you are preparing for the net level, it is must and should you have to read the arabinose also compulsory. Now last 5 question papers, what we observed is they are always comparing lacoperon and tryptophan operon. That is the reason the question is becoming so difficult and so confusing, which means they are asking if you add the lac-operon operator to the tryptophan operon operator, what will happen? Or if you add the lac-operon repressor to the tryptophan operon repressor, what will happen? This kind of questions they are asking. So every time people are getting confused. For operons, friends, you require only quality of understanding the concept. If you have a brilliant understanding, you can easily answer the question. I can tell you one single line, operon is logical. You have to find that logic. When you find that logic, you can answer the question. So this logic you can understand depending on the facts. You have to remember that facts. What kind of a operon, this lac operon, what kind of operon, tryptophan operon, what is the function of operator, repressor, structural genes, functional genes, everything. If you remember the facts, it is easy to find the logic. Anyway, while explaining the concept, I'll explain you very elaboratively. And one more topic, 100% you will get the question in the exam, is translation. And last 3 question papers, you know what they're asking? They're asking only one type of question, matching and statement. You know, that too, they're asking the differences between prokaryotic translation and eukaryotic translation. They are giving initiation factors, elongation factors and termination factors. In the prokaryotes they are asking us homologous in the eukaryotes. Suppose example IF2, same function of IF2 performed by which factor in the eukaryotes. This kind of a logical questions they are asking, which are informative, which you people can answer very easily. Apart from this, they are raising the questions from the antibiotics. Okay, antibiotics also very important. Trust my words, if they raise any question with respect to the COVID, or if they ask any question that related to the RNA vaccines, they compulsory link with either mRNA, either transcription level or translation level. They will raise this question even in the unit 12 also, unit 13 also. That's the reason whenever you are reading the mRNA, you have to always read with respect to the newer vaccines and their mechanism of action. Okay, see, in the 2024 they have asked AstraZeneca company and their vaccine, and they asked it is acting on what? It is acting on RNA level or it is acting on the protein level. This kind of questions also we can expect in the exam. So it is very much important, friends. We have to read every type of question. That's the reason unit 3 is very important. We should not skip them under any circumstances. That is unit 3. Then in the entire CSIR NET Life Sciences syllabus, there are 2 units very bigger. One is unit 4 and one is unit 13. These 2 are the toughest units. Okay, why? One of the reason is huge syllabus. Okay, I believe if you are from a microbiology or biotechnology or any other background, according to my knowledge, you read immunology also. Now you see this, how big this syllabus is. In one single unit, they kept cell signaling, cell communication, cancer, host pathogen interaction, immunology, all together in one unit, one just unit. So you know very well, if we want to read immunology alone, it generally takes 6 months. That much big immunology is. But in this syllabus of unit 4, they just added immunology as a small subunit. Then you people imagine how vast the given syllabus is. Now everyone listen to me. When you are reading this particular unit 4, I always encourage you to read in a very strategic way. Very strategic way. What is the strategic way? See, again remember, in part B 4 to 6 questions we will get. In part C 4 to 6 questions we will get. What is our goal? In part B we have to answer compulsory 2 questions without fail, and that should be correct. Part C we have to answer 2 questions without fail, that should be correct. Now whether you have to read the immunology or not, it depends on your wish. But what are the 4 subtopics that you have to read compulsory? Cell signaling, cell communication, cancer biology, host pathogen interaction. compulsory you can expect 4 questions from these 4 topics. Suppose example, if all of you prepared these 4 topics 100% effectively, you can undoubtedly skip the immunology. But if you are a general category student, what my suggestion is that instead of skipping the immunology while teaching the lesson, I will tell you the most important topics. I encourage you to only focus on most important topics instead of skipping entire chapter. That is not idealized. Apart from the general category, other students can easily focus on cell signaling, communication, cancer, host pathogen interaction 100% most effectively. Then it is very easy, you can crack the exam. Okay, this is how we can manage this. When cell signaling, when you are reading, what exactly you have to read? Again, in the unit 4, in the CSIR paper, the first question will start from the cell signaling. First question. And trust me, cell signaling question is always logical and statement related only. It is so easy a question, you no need to worry about this. Okay, now listen, when you are reading the cell signaling, our syllabus is also very vast. It is not like that you have to read 1 or 2 pathways and you can get the question. That and all never happens in the NET exam. If you're reading one subtopic, you have to read extreme depth of the entire topic. Then only you can crack the question, otherwise it is impossible. You have to focus on GPCR pathway, MAP kinase pathway, JAK-STAT pathway, insulin pathway, hedgehog pathway, notch delta, beta catenin pathways. Anyway, here if I explain you won't understand. In the classes you will get a crystal clear idea whenever I am explaining you. And every time question used to repeat from the secondary messengers. Sometimes the secondary messenger, they will link with unit 7. They will link with unit 7 and they will raise the question compulsory from the unit 7 also. Hence friends, you should not skip unit 4 under any circumstances. Very, very important. Now, when it comes to the cell communication, what is the advantage? Cell communication is a very easy topic. Trust my words, every question is from the statements. This is one of the most easiest topic. If you by heart very correctly, all the type of CAM molecules, all the type of junctions, you can score 4 marks easily. Then third topic, which compulsory comes in the exam, is cancer. Undoubtedly, I can say to all of you, cancer is the topic where they can raise very difficult question. Graphical, we can say applicative, most commonly experimental. These questions makes us very confused. Okay, cancer topic is one of the most crucial topic. They may raise the questions from different corners. They may raise the questions from genetics of the cancer, such as different kinds of genes, apoptotic genes, right, tumor suppressor genes, different type of questions they will rise in the cancer. I encourage you to read the cancer compulsory. And if you want to leave the immunology, there is no problem, you can leave the immunology, but I encourage you only to read important topics whichever I have mentioned here. Okay, there is no need to worry about this. Okay, next. Okay, so whenever I am explaining unit by unit, that time I will explain specifically what are the different concepts that you have to read with respect to the specific unit. Okay, but I am telling you once again, in order to qualify the exam, unit 1 to 6, unit 8, unit 10, unit 13, you should not skip under any circumstances. If you skip any one unit in this 9 units, it is impossible to crack the exam. Okay. Now anyway, whenever we are discussing the chapter, I will tell you every unit very elaboratively. This is just a small introductory. Now, most of the people are having doubts. What are the various opportunities that we people generally get after qualifying the CSIR exam? There are multiple opportunities that we are having. PhD in India. As I said, in India PhD is 5 years. Okay, PhD in abroad, it is minimum 3 and maximum 4 years. Some people will think that with the CSIR fellowship you can do the PhD in abroad. That you cannot do. But what you have to remember is that they will consider CSIR qualification is one of your merit, which means if you qualify India as one of the toughest exam, they will consider that the student is worthy and student is much capable. But in order to do the PhD in abroad, there are many criterias are there. One is your SOP should be very good. Okay, statement of purpose, and if you have a publications and your master's research is also very good and you require a lot of recommendations, then another very important criteria is what we can say that uh, your master's thesis. Okay, if your master's thesis is really good, then you can easily answer. Just give- okay. Okay, then okay, apart from PhD in India and PhD in abroad, okay, we are having another multiple options, teaching or professorship. This is also very important. Okay, what is that and why it is extremely important? Okay, now listen, most of the Indian students nowadays they are following the same trend. What is that? Once you qualify the CSIR, happily you can join as assistant professor. Okay, assistant professor all over India, anywhere. It is not necessary that you have to join the assistant professor only in your state. We can join the assistant professor anywhere in India, right? This is one of the best opportunity that we generally have. Don't confuse. And what nowadays people are doing, after qualifying the CSIR, they are joining as assistant professor, and there itself they are enrolling into the PhD program that they are generally doing. So as a result, you can become assistant professor and you are getting teaching experience, and simultaneously you can complete your PhD also. So this is what most of the Indian students are doing now, that is assistant professorship. And what is this JRF alone? So some students, they will do just 2 years of JRF project and they will go to abroad without enrolling into the PhD program. It's not necessary that always you have to enroll into the PhD program. If you just want to continue your JRF, you can continue the JRF and you can leave in the middle. And very important, you will be having multiple opportunities, especially in the scientific laboratories. One of the best scientific laboratory every single year that will release the notification and vacancies is BIRAC. Okay, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council. Okay, so they will also release multiple vacancies throughout the year, where you can equip with the PCR, microscope and other biotech equipments. You will get a wonderful training there also, right? And see here, and apart from this, the most important one, this is also most of the students are applying nowadays. Most of the public sector units are taking the students who qualified the CSIR NET and GATE. Okay, especially BHEL, DRDO, ONGC, right, and thermal power corporations, gas, coal, all these will take directly. Apart from this, another prestigious institutes, as I said, CFTRI, ISERS, NISER, NIPERS, and another famous institute, NIMHANS, they also take the students who qualified the CSIR NET. But if you want to do your PhD or research in these prestigious institute, if you just qualify the SET exam, they never consider you. Okay, you have to qualify the NET exam only in order to do your PhD in these prestigious companies. And see this, according to the 2023, these are the starting salary ranges with respect to the pharmaceutical and biotechnological companies. Salary range, again it depends on the department. If it is a R&D, different packages. If it is a quality control, it is completely different. If it is a manufacturing, the packages will be completely different. Okay, so these are all the top 10 companies in India and their salary ranges, right? And if you consider the salary ranges by cities, okay, New Delhi is the city where you can get the highest package with respect to the pharmaceutical, followed by the Bangalore and Hyderabad, right? And if you look into the state wise, Karnataka is on the top, followed by the Telangana, then followed by the Delhi. You will get the highest packages. Again, everything is depending on the what kind of discipline that you are entering. So as I said, nowadays, or after a long time also, R&D is the only department where you can get the highest amount of the salary in the starting itself. Okay, then followed by the pharmaceutical. Okay, these are all the top CSIR laboratories that are present in India. Okay, once you qualify the NET exam, you can enroll in any kind of this institute. Okay, that time will help you how to crack the interviews as well. Now listen my words. Most of the students will think that if they crack the CSIR exam, they can easily enroll into the PhD program. Institute itself call them. That never happens. You have to apply to the institute and you have to clear the interview. So qualifying exam is different and cracking the interview is entirely different. So in order to crack the interview also, you require a brilliant knowledge on the given subject or a chosen research field. Then only we can crack it, right? Okay, so the classes will commence from, I am explaining you the complete details. Please listen everyone. Classes commence from Monday 6th onwards. Okay, the timings are fixed. There is a no change in the timings. Class starts from 9:30 a.m. The class ends by 12:30 afternoon. Okay, you will be having a minimum of a 15 to 20 minutes of break. Okay, so it starts from the 6th. Once the chapter get, I will give you the timetable. In a month, in 1 month, we will cover 2 to 3 units. Okay, once 1 month get completed, you will be having the test on 2 to 3 chapters at a time. Okay, then we will be having PYQ analysis after chapter completion. Then after syllabus completion, we will be having the mock tests also. Okay, in case if you cannot attend the live classes, as I said, you can attend the you can watch the recorded classes any point of time. Okay, any point of time you can access the recorded classes. I'll just show it very quickly. See, once you download the app, you can see the menu like this. Once you download the app, you can see the menu like this. You have to just click on the batches. Once you click on the batches, whatever the batch you were added, all the batches will reflect here. Click on that specific batches. In that specific batches, you will be having an option called as live classes. If you click on that live classes, whatever the classes just got completed, all the classes will appear over there. You can access all the classes 24/7. And in the app itself, you are having a test section, you are having a study material section. All the PPTs and study material and test series uploaded in the app itself. You can access everything from the app itself. Okay, is it clear everyone? Now I am requesting everyone to ask all the doubts. See Ananya, if you are aiming for only JRF, okay, you have to choose only JRF as your highest priority in the application. Okay, but if you apply for the JRF, you can automatically qualify the LS also. But if your category is only LS, I encourage you only to fill up the form of only LS. Don't go for the JRF. If you are only targeting for assistant professor, only fill up the LS. That's all. Okay. See, practicing questions, I already told you, once the chapter get completed, First you practice the PYQs. After the PYQs, start with chapter wise MCQs that I will give in the classes. And once you qualify the net exam, you no need to further qualify the set exam. Okay, you no need to write one more time. If you qualify the net, that is sufficient, which is equivalent or which is more than the set exam. So you no need to worry. You have to qualify any one of the exam only. Okay. Okay. Is it clear, everyone? Anyone having any doubt, please ask me. Okay. Classes starts from 6th Monday 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Okay. Clear, everyone? Anyone having any doubt, please ask. Anyone having any doubt, you can ask. Clear? See, Vidya will teach in such a way that we will majorly cover the standard reference books. Okay, every PPT, entire information we purely cover from the standard reference books only. Okay, apart from the standard reference book, we don't touch anything. Okay, and your job is to keep the PPT that we provided and the study material and cover the entire information. Okay, then followed by the test. Then you can crack that concept very easily. Okay, my class only covers standard reference books, not any other material. So suppose example, if I am teaching molecular biology, we will cover minimum of 4 books such as molecular biology by Watson or Karp. Even I will choose the Leninger also for some topics. It depends. Okay, only reference books we will cover in the class. Okay, clear, everyone? Okay. All right, everyone. If you having any kind of a doubt, you can WhatsApp on this specific number. Okay, for any kind of a queries. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Okay. I'll see you on Monday morning. Okay. We'll provide all the details through the chat. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.